peak hater energy. The game I'm trapped in, so much better. Look at the map. Look at the map size, the freedom we have as the players. It's true, he did come to school as promised. You didn't say he had to stay, you just said he had to come to school. That's hilarious. So basically, he's skipping school to play games. I still can't get over the fact that Seiya from Cautious Hero just immediately left. I don't even remember if he was in any previous episodes. I don't think he was. I think he was only in episode 1 of this season and then immediately left. That we would end up in a situation where Konosuba hates fucking Overlord just because one doesn't need to sleep. Yo, these fucking losers. Yes, I'm Kazuma. Don't think of his girl. That's where her imagination went? No, that's exactly what she fucking wears in the show. 700 races is a little crazy, though. You know damn well, like, realistically, maybe there's 50 races and everything else is just slight differences. This is one of the best episodes, just for the absolute creativity of it. They all know, right? They're all like, I guess we play along. What a weird episode, but not in a bad way. Hey, if you got this far in the video, make sure you drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon's where you're going to catch my full live reactions, so some more if you also want to help fund the channel, videos just like these. So, this week's episode of Isekai Quartet skips the opening. And typically, when you skip an opening, big action set piece in any other show. But what does skipping the opening mean in a show like Isekai Quartet? Video game binging. That's right. And I think when you have characters such as Ainz, Subaru, now Fumi, that's brilliant. Especially for a character like Ainz, literally was trapped in the world of the video game he was playing, right? But at the end of the day, I think Ainz truly thinks he is superior to that of everyone around him. And not because of this, oh my god, I'm so much more powerful. No. Truly believe he thinks he's superior because his game is. Because something I've been waiting for in Isekai Quartet is to see more of the outside of this world rather than just school. Sure, they've started to branch out a little, and we do get to see the teacher actually play the game in his little crib, so that's nice. But my boy's like, hey, it's a good game, but it ain't my game. It's just so funny to me because he's like, listen, in the game that I used to play, like, this is pretty good, but at the end of the day, it had like 7,000 classes. It had like 15 bajillion races. And you know damn well, too, with that game, there was probably maybe, I'll give him a maximum of 100 unique things, and then everything else was just slight deviations of the others. But you gotta love the passion he has. And at the end of the day, I think Ainz was trying to make the argument, not only does Ainz have the best video game, does Ainz have the best isekai? You know what? I wouldn't have said so before this episode, but there's something about this skeleton bastard making a solid argument that I think to myself, you know what? Maybe we gotta give the isekai crown to Ainz from Overlord. Overlord is now cemented as the best isekai just because this man was passionate enough about his fucking video game that if you really compare every other character interacting with him, they didn't really make an argument as to why the current game they're playing is better than his from his OG world, nor did they have a better video game from their world. So therefore, whatever world had the better video game gotta be the best isekai. I think the logic makes sense. I'm on Team Ainz, that's all I'm saying. It's really funny too, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought like maybe it was gonna be something with like Sid or Subaru or something like that, because Cosmo is not showing up to class and he got his ass dragged back. I thought at first it was just because he was lazy. No, he's been staying up late playing video games and then obviously sleeping during school hours. I don't even blame the guy. Why am I a grown-ass man doing school? Isekai logic, fuck you, I'm gonna go play the new game. And it was really funny because I was expecting maybe I thought it was gonna be him and Sid. I don't know why, because I thought to myself, yeah, sure, Ainz has the whole video game stuff from his OG life, but the deadbeat, I'm going to just continuously do this, and then I'm like, wait a second, Ainz is a skeleton, and a skeleton who doesn't need to sleep. Of course he'd be gaming just as hard. He would just show responsibility because he doesn't need sleep and therefore seem like the mature one. Honestly, just seeing them interact, you're so used to isekai skipping the opening because we're gonna have a big fight scene or we're gonna have some big revelation. And what did Isekai Quartet do? All they simply said was, we're gonna skip the opening for one reason and one reason only, to nerd out about video games. And it's so funny, the superiority complex, and even the small moments too. Now, Fumi's obviously one of the characters playing the game, and of course, the outfit he likes Anyone who's been watching Shield Hero, you know, of course, this is something Raftalia wears. Now, Raftalia doesn't have this reaction, but it's really funny because they come up with such ridiculous headcanons of how it works and how, like, Nafumi's probably a creep. I think, honestly, she's probably one of the biggest culprits of the whole thing, which is just funny. And just the repeatedness of him. Like, I think what he ended up doing in this scene is he kept closing the door because Philo and Raftalia come. And every time they talk shit, he opens the door and corrects them in, like, a fairly polite way and then shuts the door again. I'm pretty sure if you could see through this, like, window here a bit better, you would just always see him staring like this, waiting for you to talk shit so he could open it again. Just funny as hell. They also tease at the very end of the episode. It's pretty brief. But anyone who remembers, during the whole zombie pasta incident, we decided to throw the corpses into the woods, and seemingly that's going to be the big boss for the ending. Now, most of the time they use the destroyer from Konosuba as, like, the final boss. So if they play by normal rules, somehow zombie pasta is gonna mix with the destroyer, or they're just gonna do this. I don't know which. Though I do gotta make one comment from last week. I said it was a missed opportunity not to utilize the rabbits during a wintry, mountainous scene. And people said, Brandon, you already got a little joke tease in a previous season. We wouldn't wanna overuse a joke. My brothers in Christ, this man can't have one more traumatizing experience with a rabbit, but the Konosuba characters can have goddamn destroyers 15 times? Anyway, either way, I thought this was a pretty great episode. I mean, the thing about Isekai Quartet is they often have these really peak episodes, and when you try to explain them to Isekai Quartet fans, they think, well, what makes that like a 10 out of 10 episode, right? Like, there wasn't a big death, there wasn't a big characterization moment, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, when I get to see a teacher criticize students for spending all night gaming, and then as soon as he tries it, he does the same fucking thing, that is hilarious to me. And honestly, as silly as it sounds, an episode all about gaming with gamers and non-gamers. I mean, one of the characters who got addicted is a stern military persona from Saga of Time the Evil. They did a fantastic job at utilizing all these personalities again, and week after week I say this is one of the most impressive isekai, not because of a specific story arc or characterization, but how they merge all these characters to feel like themselves, and if they truly interacted with dumbass from Konosuba or badass from Overlord, this is how it is. And also, at the end of the day, I mean, whether you like it or not, I think Overlord now holds the crown of Isekai King just because of the logic of, well, my game has way more classes than yours. Your thoughts down below, though. What did you think of this week's episode? I mean, I think there's certainly been like half of the episodes of this season that were like 10 out of 10, and this one's probably one of them. But your thoughts, drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon's where you can catch my full live reactions, so some more. Like Chaos like to give video shows to my patrons who make this all possible. Alright, so today we got Supa Poopa, Zero, Luffy the King of Pirates, Danny Yang, and we also have Shapel. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.